Welcome to the Bluffton News. I'm Anneliza Itkor. Today, we'll be discussing the latest news. We'll take a look at what's going on in Bluffton business and entertainment, and we'll hear from this week's newsmakers. This week, the director of the Don Ryan Center for Innovation, Jordan Berliner, brings us current on this new Bluffton facility, and we'll learn the latest predictions of how the Bluffton High varsity soccer team will fare in this season's playoffs. But let's start off with Bluffton's current headlines. When the Graves House in Bluffton was approved for demolition this week, some wondered if its historic status could remain since the replica to replace it will be built with materials salvaged from the 100-year-old home. According to Eric Emerson, the state's top preservation official, the answer is no, even with the use of salvaged material. Bluffton United Methodist Church wants to buy the Graves House property at 85 Calhoun Street. It plans to raise the home and build a replica in its place. The new building would have offices and outreach space for the growing congregation. Presently, the house is recognized by the federal government as a contributing structure in the Bluffton Historic District. Some feel that it is up to Bluffton, not the state, to decide whether or not the replica Graves House should continue to be on the contributing structure list for Old Town Bluffton. A fire hydrant might not be the most attractive feature on a front lawn, but concealing it with landscaping could hinder firefighters' response in an emergency. A new awareness campaign by the Bluffton Township Fire District aims to teach residents to keep at least a 5-foot clearance in all directions around hydrants so firefighters can better do their jobs. As a dry spell that made last month the second driest April on record continues into May, contributing to blazes such as the large brush fire this past Wednesday on Lemon Island, the message becomes especially important. Firefighters inspect the 4,900 hydrants in the district a few times a year but are unable to cut vegetation on private property. The Beaufort-Jasper Water and Sewer Authority, who own most of the hydrants, and the district hope property owners associations and civic groups will adopt hydrants to keep them spruced up and clear. The authority will supply the paint and tools. The Beautify Beaufort organization is one of the first to take the authority up on the offer and added maintaining hydrants to its list of beautification and renovation projects in downtown Beaufort this spring. And a new private school offering an old style of education will move into the building that Riverview Charter School currently uses. Holy Trinity Classical Christian School, sponsored by the Parish Church of St. Helena, will lease the 22,800 square foot facility on Burroughs Avenue from the Beaufort County School District for 3 years. The Reverend Chad Lawrence, headmaster of Holy Trinity, said the school plans a classical education for students in preschool through 5th grade when it opens August 20th. Lawrence said the school can accept about 130 students, and each class should have about 14 students. Classical education focuses on the 7 traditional liberal arts: grammar, logic, rhetoric, arithmetic, geometry, astronomy, and music. The school also will teach biology, chemistry, and other sciences. Christianity will be blended into the curriculum. The school will add a grade each year, ultimately expanding to 12th grade. Students at Bluffton High and H.E. McCracken Middle School can now earn college credits for their work in engineering courses. The schools are the latest in Beaufort County to become certified for Project Lead the Way. Along with Battery Creek and Beaufort High Schools, they're offering pre-engineering courses through the National Projects curriculum. The entry-level courses introduces students to engineering concepts. Later courses focus on aerospace or civil engineering. If students maintain good grades and do well on end-of-course exams in the project-based courses, they can earn 12 college credit hours through the University of South Carolina. To become certified for the project, teachers and guidance counselors undergo training. Schools must also have the required technology and create an advisory council of teachers, engineers, parents, and students to review the curriculum and engineering advancements, as well as suggest improvements. For more information on these headlines and more, please check out the media sources you see listed on your screen. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Coming up, Lynn Frazier of the Bluffton Sun will lend some insight into what's happening with the Don Ryan Innovation Center, as well as other hot news items right here on the Bluffton News. Welcome Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Joining me now is Lynn Hummel of the Bluffton Sun. Lynn, I understand you've got some information for us on the new technology center that has finally opened up in Bluffton.
Right, a lot of excitement going on about that. The Don Ryan Center for Innovation, what we have been calling the Technology Incubator, held its ribbon cutting on May 3rd with about 125 local supporters in attendance. Now the center is located at office space in Buckwalter Place that's donated by CareCorps National. Bluffton Mayor Lisa Salka said the opening of the center was another one of the little pieces of the puzzle that is the future of Bluffton. And it might be something really big for our town and for the entire region. And as we know, the purpose of the center is to provide operational guidance and support, encouragement and mentoring to early stage technology-based businesses for the first year. And the mentors will get these businesses up and on their feet and hope to send them out to be successful in business and then bring in another group of young businesses to do the same process again.
Yeah, that's very exciting for the Bluffton community.
Yes.
Now, tell us a little bit about the companies that are already involved with the Innovation Center.
Well, at the opening, they announced the first 4 companies to be involved, and they are Greenbug All Natural Pest Control, Gesture Communications, Nutrifusion, and Surface Scientifics. And these are all young companies in Bluffton. You might have heard of them. Some of them might be new.
That's great. Well, I think this holds a lot of promise. Now, kind of going from the new to the old, the Graves House has been in the news quite a bit lately. We were mentioning it earlier in the headlines, and I understand that you've got some more information on the decision that the County Preservation Council has made.
Right. The Bluffton Historic Preservation Commission voted 5-2 to allow the almost 100-year-old house to be demolished. It's known as the Graves House. It's located at 85 Calhoun Street, and they gave permission for it to be torn down, which paves the way for Bluffton United Methodist Church to buy the property and to demolish the house and rebuild a replica of it. The architect, William Court of Court Atkins Architect, has agreed to not simply tear the house down, but to sympathetically dismantle the house so that they very purposefully remove the boards and bricks and whatnot and reuse as much as they can in the new structure.
Great. So it is kind of making something new out of the old.
Right.
Now, what is the schedule for the dismantling?
Well, there's no real schedule yet because first the church has to complete its purchase, and that hasn't been done yet. Then they'll need to get a permit for the new building. But the architect says that he anticipates that that will happen as soon as they possibly can get to it.
Great. Now, I understand that teacher appreciation is being promoted from the top level of our government. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, on May 2nd, Governor Nikki Haley proclaimed May to be Teacher Appreciation Month in South Carolina. She noted that teachers in the state are dedicated to their work and they provide students with tools for success and they help strengthen our communities, which we all know that. And this proclamation encourages citizens, both parents and students, to recognize the contributions that teachers have made. And at the end of the school year, it really is a good time to do that. And maybe, go thank a teacher, not just someone who's affected your family this year, but maybe someone who encouraged you in the past.
That's great. Now we just have a moment left. Real quick, tell us who the Bluffton Teachers of the Year are.
Really quickly. Valerie Seldes, Bluffton Elementary, Leslie Natoli from Bluffton Middle, Aaron Reichert from Bluffton High, Sebastian Reet from H.E. McCracken Middle, Donna Lorenz from M.C. Riley, Christine Jackson from Okatee Elementary, Alvanese Swain Mohead from Pritchardville, and Mary Beth McKinney at Red Cedar Elementary.
Well, congratulations to you all. Lynn, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Anneliza.
Coming up, Shelley Hodges will be giving us the skinny on new business ventures in the Bluffton area when we return with more Bluffton news. All right, so now it's time to hear from Shelley West Hodges as she tells us all things new in the world of business in Bluffton. Shelley, I understand that there's been an exciting ribbon cutting at Scott's Market this week.
Yes, Anneliza, there is. On Thursday, May the 10th, we have a ribbon cutting at Scott's Market, and that is our new local butcher in town on Highway 46, and that ribbon cutting is at 10 a.m. on this Thursday, and we encourage everybody to come out and taste some samplings that they have and see the store and meet Adam and Lindy.
That's great. And you said that's on Thursday?
Yes.
Perfect. So when people are out there for the farmers market, they can swing by Scott's Market. Now, are there any other ribbon cuttings going on coming up in the future?
We have one coming up at the end of this month with Plum's Restaurant, and that's actually going to be jointly with our Bluffton Professionals group, and that will be an evening function, and we'll be looking forward to that toward the end of the month of May.
Yeah, there's a lot of people very excited about Plum's opening up, and if you haven't been to the one in Beaufort, it's a fantastic restaurant. It's going to be a real nice addition to Bluffton. Now, you know, with this mild drought that we're experiencing and all this heavy pollen just kind of hanging around and around, local cars are looking pretty desperate out there. And I understand that you've got a good solution for that.
Yeah, there's a wonderful little company called On the Spot, and that's owned by Kim Green, and he comes to your business or to your home to do on-the-spot car detailing. He does a great job.
That's cool. I just like the whole idea that he comes to you, and I may be giving him a call very soon here because my Mango Tango Jeep is looking a little dusty. Now, there's a new concept out there for small business that sounds really interesting, the whole cash mob thing. You hear a lot about that in the news, and I understand that you, the Greater Bluffton Chamber, is bringing that concept here to Bluffton with a chamber cash mob. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, this is a great concept to come into businesses, to come to them and give them exposure and create some networking for them and bring in people to their business. And it is called a cash mob, and we are currently calling that the Chamber Cash Mob. The first one will be May the 11th at Kinfolk's Restaurant from 11 to 1:30. And what you do is you have a minimum expenditure, so the minimum will be $15 for everybody to come in and spend at least $15. Gives that business a boost, gives them exposure, and they'll have, you know, some samplings there for people to taste the different foods that they offer.
I think that's a great idea. Love the concept of really injecting some life into some of the businesses, some of the local businesses, and getting that exposure out there. So best of luck with that venture. And thanks for the update, Shelley.
Thank you, Anneliza.
So when we return, Jordan Berliner, director of the Don Ryan Center for Innovation, brings us up to speed on all the center has to offer Bluffton and the surrounding areas. And Bluffton High School boys varsity soccer coach Josh Box tells us what we can expect as the team heads into playoffs. That's all right after the break here on the Bluffton News. Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Earlier, Lynn Hummel was discussing the opening of the Don Ryan Center for Innovation. Well, joining us now is the director of this technology center, Jordan Berliner. Welcome, Jordan.
Well, thank you very much.
Jordan, to start with, can you tell our viewers a little bit about what exactly is the center?
Well, the center is part of the town of Bluffton's economic development program. And the idea is that around here we've got a lot of either budding entrepreneurs or small technology companies that are really ready to get bigger. And what they need is a lot of input. They eventually are going to need financial help, but they also need a lot of consulting. They need a lot of resources. And the center is a way to bring them in to connect them up with those kinds of resources and consulting help. We also have a physical facility because a lot of them have offices in their houses or their garages. And so this gives them an opportunity really to have a place to do business, to bring in visitors, bring in guests.
Gotcha. Now, what kind of individuals or companies can enter the center?
Well, we're really looking for people with technology or technology focus. They can be individuals, they can be small businesses. We're also looking for ones in and around the area and ones that eventually are going to locate here once they graduate from the center and become bigger, better, and fully thriving.
I'll tell you, it's a fantastic opportunity. Can you tell people a little bit about how they can get involved in the center?
Sure, I'd be happy to. They can, first of all, they can call me, or they can go to our website, which is now set up, which is www.ryan-innovation-center.com, and there's a contact section, so they can get in touch with us.
Now, I understand, even though the official opening was only recently, that you've already got some businesses involved.
We do. We have 4 wonderful technology companies, and they really give a full idea of what technology means. We've got businesses that range all the way from pest control to food products to antimicrobial surface action, to software. I mean, what a broad group of companies, and they're all local. They're all from around here.
Jordan, are you finding that stepping into this director position has been a smooth transition for you?
Oh, it's been terrific. We are, in fact, in the process of moving here right now. The movers are at my house right now. We love this area, and in fact, we decided to move here and bought the house even before I took the position. The other thing is I have a fabulous board, and they did a lot of the groundwork for me so I could come in, smoothly jump in, and then away we went.
Well, I'll tell you, thank you for taking time out of your moving schedule to meet with us today. And it sounds like the Don Ryan Center for Innovation is going to do a terrific job.
Well, we think so, and thank you very much for having me on today.
This year, the Bluffton High boys varsity soccer team has had a terrific season. Josh Box, their coach, is here to talk about the pending playoffs. Thanks for joining us, Josh.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Now, first of all, what were your expectations coming into this season?
You know, coming into this year, in the past we've had a lot of success, but we were fizzling out early in the playoffs. So we went ahead and scheduled some top flight teams in the state of South Carolina. So everything from the beginning on was geared towards success in the playoffs. I know that we had a great group of senior boys coming in, and then also a handful of young guns that we knew that would help us out. So we had high hopes from the start.
Great. Now, how do you expect your team to perform in the playoffs?
Heading into the playoffs, our record hasn't really been what we would have liked at 7-13, but I'll tell you what, we're playing at a higher level than I've seen any of the teams here play in quite some time. So going into the playoffs, we're hoping to make a little bit of noise. If we all show up and if everybody gives their best, then the sky's the limit. We'll take it game by game.
That's exciting. No, actually, can we come out and watch these games?
Oh, of course you can. Of course you can if you want to travel.
Well, oh, I got you. You don't have any home matches during the playoffs?
That all depends on seeding, on how they match up as far as seeds go. If we run into a seed that is lower than us, then we will be playing at Bluffton High.
All right. Now tell us a little bit about your key players.
You know, some of the seniors I was talking about earlier, Jake George and Ryan Blizzard are a couple of guys who have been with the program for 4 years now. Jake, very smart kid, tough defender, and he came out and really gave it his all for his senior year. Now on to Ryan Blizzard. He is a kid that can just fly. He's got footwork, he's got speed, and there's not many people out there who can keep up with him. He actually just had an exciting moment, got to sign on with Tri-County, and he's going to be continuing his soccer career at the collegiate level next year.
That's awesome. I'll tell you, Josh, it's a real pleasure to hear a coach expressing such enthusiasm about their players and the sport, and it's been terrific having you on.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
When we come back, Rodney Vaughn is on location with 2 local rum runners as the Bluffton News brings you out and about in Bluffton. Welcome back. This week, Rodney Vaughn headed out to chat with 2 Bluftonians who are striving to develop a local rum. Rodney, out to you.
I'm here in Bluffton today with the creators of a new product. It's a rum, and it's Pocataligo rum. And you guys are from Bluffton, and this is the new thing that you're trying to create. And we need a little bit of help getting the product off of the ground, right? Correct. This is Mitch Brown, and I'm with Gavin Wright. And we want to talk about how we can make a contribution as a local citizen, try to help out our fellow friend and everything to get your product going. You guys have set up a website for that information?
That's right, Rodney. Pocataligorum.com is our website. Tells all about the product and kind of the backstory of how we got to where we are today. And we're also working with a web platform called Indiegogo.com, which there's a link at Pocataligo.com that can send you there. And it's a crowdfunding platform just to kind of help us push that rock over the ledge. We're about 95% there, and we just need to get right over the ledge to get this in commercial production and get it out to the good people in Bluffton.
Okay, so when people visit the website, Indiegogo.com, they can make a pledge on there. And that's not just a blank contribution, Gavin. There's some publicity and some products that go along with that, right?
That's right, yeah. With each different level of giving, we have anything from decals for your car to T-shirts, and some of the bigger prizes are dinners with celebrity chef Sally Ann Robinson. So there's a number of different options to choose from.
Okay, so
But we
there's
definitely-
another great reason to make a contribution. Now, Pocataligo rum is an interesting name, and can you tell us about the background of that?
Well, Pocataligo was a tribe of Yamasee Indians up there in Jasper County. And when Gavin and I came up with our rum formula, we kicked around a bunch of names and we kept coming back to Pocataligo. If for no other reason, it's just fun to say.
And that's exactly right, and I get a little tripped up on it. And the rum's going to be distilled in Barbados?
Yep, that's right. We've kind of got a big, massive field of dominoes already set up, and we're just ready to push that first domino over, get the commercial production done, bring in the first set of product, get it out here to the bars and restaurants and package stores in Bluffton, and get this ball rolling.
So if someone would like to make a contribution, you have a deadline of May the 26th, and you've set a certain goal to acquire, correct?
Yeah, we set our goal at $40,000. That's the amount of money we need to push that first domino over, and we've got some funding now, but we need to just, bridge that gap.
Okay, and people are making a contribution, but if you don't reach your goal, their credit cards are not charged, their money's refunded. Is that correct?
That's correct. If we don't reach our goal by May 26th, 100% of the proceeds will be refunded.
So if you'd like to make a contribution, please do so before May the 26th and visit PocataligoRum.com for more information about the great product. Thank you guys for joining us today. It was a pleasure having you both.
Thanks for having us, Rodney.
Yes, sir. And back to you, Anneliza.
That was great, Rodney. Thanks. It's now time for you to meet Cooper. Take one look into his sweet puppy eyes and you will be smitten. Cooper is less than a year old, though he may appear shy. He's very energetic when given a squeaky toy to play with. Cooper loves others, both two-legged and four-legged alike. This little guy is the perfect combination of merriment and kind-heartedness that we all seek. For more information about Cooper, contact Brookshaven Animal Rescue at 25 Buck Island Road in Bluffton or call 843-757-7387. Thanks for joining us for the news program that is all Bluffton all the time. I'm Anneliza Itkor for the Bluffton News. We'll see you next time.